discuss 5 tips on how to hear God's voice. Tip number 1, knowing your inner dialogue. Oftentimes, our inner dialogue is actually God's voice, not the stuff you filter through that is harmful or hurting you. Example, your dark thoughts. Inner dialogue can be when you feel pulled to a certain thought that sounds like intuition but is more like an echoing voice. So a real life example of this, when I was living with my roommate and we were super close, having gatherings, drinks, food, and I was in the kitchen serving drinks and I heard God's voice plain as day saying, "These people will not be in your life in a few years." I didn't believe it because of how close we all were. But in a few years later, we were no longer friends due to life circumstances. It did break my heart, but I knew it had to happen in order to help heal me. Tip number 2, talk to God like He's already in the room. When you talk to God, you don't have to be so formal. It isn't like talking to someone you have to harden your heart around, hide from, or feel like you're in the army and there's a power trip dynamic. You aren't fighting for God's attention, He's already there. So, a real life example, when my mom was in surgery, it got canceled, and I was at the hospital all day and I needed a break. I was at home when my mom had to stay overnight at the hospital. I ordered pizza and I asked Jesus to sit with me and eat pizza together. I talked to Him about my family, my life, my friends, everything on my mind, and I knew He was there, and I knew He heard me because the next day our family grew closer. Tip number 3, Bible time and Bible study. Spending time with God and in His Word is key to developing an understanding of God's character. Now, I know the Bible can be daunting. However, the Bible is good for God to speak directly to you. However, if you dissect the Bible to harm yourself, take things personally, and hurt others, then it is not God speaking. It's your body reacting to something we may disagree with or misunderstand. So stay with me here. I have read the Bible feeling hopeless, thinking God wasn't doing things that He promised me. However, it's because I was impatient, trying to rush a timeline that wasn't mine to live at that point. So how does God talk to us through the Bible? So here's an example. I asked God, "What do you want me to read next?" And then I opened up a journal entry from a long time ago. I hadn't seen this book in a while, and it was clearly written on it, the book of Matthew. I first heard God say before I did that to read it. So far, I am still doing it. However, the book of Matthew teaches us life skills and applying characteristics of Jesus Christ to our lives. Okay, so tip number 4, dreams. Dreams can really inspire conversation with God, and it also can send messages to you that God has been speaking over your life. Dreams can be prophetic, dreams can be teaching you a new lesson, or giving you warnings for the future. Real life examples of this. Ever since I was a little kid, when I was a child, I dreamt about obstacle courses, and this was always a testament to being aware that life changes are happening. It can mean that my road ahead is going to be bumpy. I used to have recurring dreams of 2 different paths where I would see wild animals and I would meet new people and experience new things that would challenge me. So why is this spiritual? Because God has given me the gift to know when He is giving me a heads up that life is going to be challenging, so that I have discernment on what's to come and the recognition that He will be with me. And tip number 5, the final tip, is social interactions. Social interactions are another example of how God is speaking to us. Have you ever sat with a friend or anyone in general and knew exactly what they were going to say before they said it? It was almost like you were in sync. Or have you ever sat with someone and they knew something about your life that only you and God discussed? This is an example of a God wink. He heard you and wanted to confirm with you that He heard you and that He's speaking with you. So a real life example, I was thinking about building a business, about doing a workshop to bring people to God and do some inner healing work. I was not so sure about the angle I was going to go, and I was thinking in my head, why am I going to do this and not have God involved? And the person in front of me that I was talking to said what I was thinking out loud. And that is how I knew that He was trying to speak to me. So all of these examples that I just used can be interconnected. Just think, a dream could inspire a conversation with God, with others, and ourselves. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment on how God speaks to you, or if any of these examples have opened up a conversation with God. And did it help you? Let me know, and I'm sending you a big warm hug, and yeah, love you, thanks, bye.